Long before the coup in Myanmar, the UN set up a mechanism to investigate alleged abuses of human rights and possible war crimes in that country. I sat down with Nicholas Koumjian, head of that unit from Myanmar, to talk about his mandate and the difficulty in prosecuting war crimes. I'm Frank Ucciardo, and this is TRT World One-on-One. Nicholas Koumjian, head of the Independent Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, thank you for joining us here on TRT World. Now, your mandate began before the coup. Tell us about the mandate, and has the coup impacted your work?
So we were created by the Human Rights Council and became operational in 2019. Of course, what particularly sparked the creation of our mechanism was the 2017 exodus of Rohingya from Rakhine State in the west of the country, where about 750,000 or more Rohingya were forced out of their homes. Most of them remain today in refugee camps in Bangladesh. We received over 200,000 responses. Many of these included testimonies from individuals about what they themselves had saw or heard or what had happened to their family.
Are there any crimes being reported to you pointing towards genocide?
Well, our mandate includes genocide. Based upon a history of political violence in Myanmar, we would be watching it closely. We saw what appeared to be policy changes as security forces started using much greater violence and lethal force against demonstrators in different places at the same time.
Would you say that crimes against humanity are taking place there?
Certainly. If people are being detained without due process of law, this is the international crime of imprisonment when committed as part of this widespread or systematic attack on a civilian population.
Have any of the large social media websites been helpful to your investigations?
From the 2019, when I first started, we engaged with Facebook, and we have been meeting with them. They have even come to Geneva to talk to us, and we still confer regularly.
And I'm wondering, has there been any evidence on Facebook pages that point towards serious crimes taking place?
One in particular that we're concerned about is whether there was an organized campaign to incite hatred, because that could amount to the mode of liability of incitement, under which someone could be held responsible for serious international crimes that result.
Now, what are the legal obligations that the junta in Myanmar can be held accountable for?
You cannot order, you cannot incite serious international crimes. For those with command responsibility, which under international law is defined as the ability to prevent crimes and punish crimes through things like giving orders or court-martials. So the International Criminal Court does not at this time have jurisdiction over what's happening inside Myanmar. However, they do have an investigation ongoing related to what happened with the Rohingya who were pushed out of Myanmar into Bangladesh. If that deportation occurred when they entered Bangladesh, the prosecutor could investigate all the crimes related to that could have caused the deportation.
At one time, you were a trial attorney at the International Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. Now, do you see any parallels between what went on there and some of the gruesome crimes we're hearing about in Myanmar?
Yes. I mean, I think there are so many parallels I see in different situations I've worked in, whether it's the former Yugoslavia, the Cambodia court, the wars in Sierra Leone. And one of the things I've seen is that often these crimes occur because bad leaders incite followers to believe that another group is somehow threatening their existence, incite hatred, and dehumanize the other group. And the other thing I've come to realize from talking to victims from all these different conflicts, they all want pretty much the same thing. First, they want someone to listen and to recognize this happened to them. They want an international court or some court to say, this really occurred, we understand you did suffer. And secondly, they want someone held to account for that. My message to all in Myanmar is that we are watching, we are collecting evidence, and anyone who's considering committing crimes should know that we will collect the evidence and prepare files in the hope that they will one day be held to account.
Nicholas Koumjian, thank you for joining us here on TRT World.
Thank you very much for inviting me.